5 signs you're highly intelligent, even if you're not aware of it. You are more of a genius than you think because intelligence is not limited to grades, IQ scores, or emotional intelligence. Misconceptions and intelligence go hand in hand. Most people think that you must be less smart if you're not good at certain things or you don't have a high IQ. But that's not the case at all. Intelligence is not one-dimensional. It's a multifaceted coin. It doesn't just mean being good at math or being able to read quickly. Some people are street smart, while others are book smart. And then there are those who are a little bit of both. So how can you tell if you're intelligent? No, scoring high scores on IQ tests is not the truest measure. Howard Gardner, a Harvard psychologist, writes in his book, Frames of Mind, The Theory of Multiple Intelligences. Intelligence is a survival strength everyone possesses, but the type, degree, and area varies. And comparing two individuals based on one type of intelligence is stupidity. That's exactly why I write this article. Most internet articles on this topic focus on visible evidence of intelligence while I highlight the subtlety of mental acuity. Subtlety reveals the truth. The reason you might want to know to learn about these signs is that 70% of us have imposter syndrome. It means we don't believe we're good/smart/intelligent enough. This will also make you aware of your strengths to play with in relationships, businesses, and everyday life commitments. So, without further ado, I share 5 signs you're highly intelligent even if you don't know/believe. Number 1. You demonstrate first-rate intelligence. I recently read a book called Thinking, Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. It's a fascinating look at how our brains work. And one of the things he talks about is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs and to ignore information that contradicts them. For example, if you believe that global warming is a hoax, you will likely read only articles confirming your beliefs. This confirmation bias is important because it allows you to make quick decisions. If you had to weigh all the evidence every time you made a decision, you'd never get anything done. But, the ability to see both sides of an issue, even if you have a strong opinion, is a sign of intelligence. Scientists call it first-rate intelligence, the ability to hold opposing concepts and still function. It also means you can critically evaluate information and make decisions based on evidence rather than emotion. The reason for such intelligence is fearlessness. If you aren't scared to change your mind when presented with new information, it's a sign of high-level intelligence. You also realize that you might not have all the answers and that there is always room for growth. Number 2. You have the ability to see the forest and the trees. Salespeople are often very smart. They have to be. But some get pegged as smooth talkers and not really bright. Yet, many times they are both. The difference is in their ability to simultaneously see the big picture and the details. The ability to see the connections between things is a sign of intelligence. I learned it through my psychologist friend from McGill University. This type of intelligence is seeing how two subjects are related, how different events fit together and recognizing patterns. For example, a history student who can see how the events of the French Revolution led to the rise of Napoleon is demonstrating their ability to see connections. If you can put together the puzzle pieces to see how they all fit, that's a good indication that you have what it takes. It helps you find new solutions to repeating problems, understand complex systems, and make better decisions. So if you're good at seeing the connections between things, don't be discouraged. It's a sign of intelligence. Number 3. You're a contrarian. Most people want to fit in and conform to social norms. But intelligent people are often contrarian thinkers. They're the ones who challenge the status quo and think outside the box. They're not afraid to go against the grain, even if it means they'll be ridiculed. In fact, they actually prefer it. That's because they know that true innovation often comes from being different. Contrarians also tend to be independent thinkers. Others do not easily influence them and are not afraid to speak their minds. It takes a certain level of confidence to go against the grain. And intelligent people realize it because they self-believe. For example, Steve Jobs graduated with a 2.65 GPA. Beethoven couldn't multiply. Picasso wouldn't do well on Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader since he failed 4th grade arithmetic. Einstein grew up illiterate. Today, they're seen as pioneers. They're titans of industry and innovators who change the world. So, genius is not what you do, it's what you believe in. Number 4. You straight away jump to solutions. In today's competitive world, getting caught up and need to be the best is easy. However, true intelligence isn't about beating others but working towards better solutions. This reminds me of my recent phone call with Jane, a former colleague, whose assistant was consistently not meeting the deadlines. Instead of rehashing the problem or making judgments about her assistant, Jane focused on a solution. When Jane politely asked her assistant about it, she said she had a divorce and was mentally traumatized. Jane immediately asked her to take some days off and return when she felt better. Again, this shows intellectual humility, focusing on results rather than ego. Those who focus on results rather than the ego can see the big picture and work towards goals that benefit everyone. They're also able to take criticism without getting defensive because they know the only thing that matters is the outcome. As a result, they're often more successful in the long run. When you can decouple the problem from the person, it's easier to find a solution that works for everyone. It also shows an understanding that we all have our baggage and triggers. Number 5. The curiosity of a toddler. In 1993, Carol Dweck published a paper called The Study of Goals. He found that the most successful people are not content with their knowledge, they want to learn more. They're called lifelong learners. Having the curiosity of a toddler is a sign of intelligence. It demonstrates cognitive abilities. After all, toddlers are constantly asking questions and exploring their surroundings. This curiosity helps them learn about the world around them and develop new skills. Curious adults are always asking questions and seeking out new information. They're never content just to accept things at face value. Instead, they want to understand why things are the way they are. This curiosity allows them to learn more and expand their horizons. If you enjoy learning new things, that's a good sign you're pretty smart. Intelligent people are naturally curious. They want to know how everything works and are always asking questions. The best way to become a lifelong learner is to find a passionate subject and never stop learning more about it.